Alright. Here you go, Tommy. Here we have a 1965 Chevelle El Camino fender. Grounded down with 36 grit. And these are spares I got from some guy. They're actually pretty nice. I figured, you know, I was going to need to do this someday eventually anyway. Even if I sold them, I was going to, you know, fix them up, put them in primer before I sold them. But oddly enough, being that this isn't a fender I'm going to use, it's really nice. So we're going to throw some Bondo on it anyway. I just need to figure out where I'm going to put this camera here. As you can see, nothing's been going on here. Jim's been doing a little work on his bedsides, I see. I haven't even been out in the garage. A couple weeks, seems like. Probably because it's been a couple weeks. Yeah. This weekend me and Angel went on a little trip, so we weren't here. And before that, I was just not feeling like coming out here. So we're gonna have to start coming back out here. So yeah, let's figure out somewhere to set this camera up at. Should have done that before I turned it on. I don't got nothing. Let's see. This. Just not tall enough. So I need something to set on top of that. And that bucket of oil is not going to do any good. We have a couple cans. This is a pretty exciting video, so I'm glad everyone can enjoy the goodness of it. Okay, so maybe this will be tall enough. I think I've done this before. Let's see how that is. Yeah, it looks good. So, yeah, anyway. Whoa. I'm going to do this like I normally would, which is I'll take 1.5 or 2-inch tape, run it off these body lines, even if this was all bare metal. I tend to like to do these types of things in sections, like I'll tape this all off on these 2 hard body lines, and that way when you're spreading your Bondo, it doesn't drip down over here and you gotta sand it back off, get your body line back. I don't know. This is just how I do it, not how you should do it, unless you want to do it that way. So, I'll do that real quick. And there you be. What this does for me is just eliminates a lot of cleanup work, extra sanding, stuff like that, I don't feel like doing. And it keeps me from having to make my body lines out of Bondo because they're already here and they're straight. Stuff like that. So I'm gonna go mix up some Bondo and try not to put very much hardener in it. That way I can do this halfway slow, just to show you how I do it. I'll be back. All right, Thomy Schuu, Bondo, fender, spreader. I usually use the small spreaders, even though no matter what size area I'm doing, I don't know why. I'm using a medium-sized one, I guess, or a big one, I don't know. What I like to do when I'm doing a big area like this is I will take scoops of that and just slap them on here. Put one there, one there, one there. I'll get all my Bondo on here in piles before I even spread it around. And then at first, I'll use medium pressure, knock them all down, just kind of smear them around. You know, it's like you're putting frosting on it or something. Try to make it as even as possible and not worry so much about the lines in it or whatever. Just get it smeared around there uniformly. And then when I'm done with that, I'll use a little bit of firmer pressure. And you know, I'll try to curve the spreader to the contour of whatever panel I'm doing, whether it's, you know, like that or curve the other way. This has a slight curve like this, so I'll hold it like that. And pretty firm, but I won't press too hard. I'll just go down, make a pass, and overlap that one a little bit. Do the same thing. And stuff like that. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully you can see some of what I'm doing. I'll probably be standing in the way, so don't get mad at me if this sucks. I'm not a very good teacher guy. Let me see if I can move this. Side. And we'll see how this works. So, I'm just gonna scoop this on, slap it on here. This on here. This on here. This on here. This on here. And we'll smear that around and see what we got going on. I'll switch directions, you know, I'll come that way, then I'll come this way, and whatever you have to do. It doesn't really matter too much. I mean, yeah, you want to get it on there without a bunch of lines, but you're going to have some. I can't spread Bondo left-handed, well, maybe I'll try. See if I can hold the camera closer. So, you know, as you get it looking, you know, more uniformly, you'll start using lighter pressure when you go back over it, so you're not forcing as big of lines in it, I guess. And you know, I'll just keep working it. Now you don't want to mess around with it too much. Once you get it on there, and it looks pretty good, you know, just go ahead and leave it. Start screwing around with it too much, you'll start making it worse, and then it'll start hardening up on you before you can do anything about it. Now, as you can see, I got it pretty much uniform. I'm using lighter and lighter pressure on it, and it starts laying down a lot nicer, and you don't get a lot of lines in it. If I went long, you know, instead of doing this vertically, if I took and went it this way, I could probably get it pretty smooth without all these lines going up and down. I'll try that here after I do this, just to, because I think that's what you're mostly concerned about, is all the spreading lines and stuff you get. This requires you to sand it more to get them out, if I'm hearing you right. You can see even doing it that way, I mean, there's not a ton of lines that would be hard to sand out. It's pretty smooth. But just for fun, I'd probably leave it like this. This is where I'd stop. But we'll see if I go this way. This is really hard to do and tape at the same time. Guess I should have had Angel come out here. Now that I did that, I'll just go over it with lighter pressure. Basically just setting this on there now and letting it float across, just to try to make these spreading lines less. And those will lay out a little bit, but you know, generally it's easier to do this way, so you don't have to try to curve the spreader. I'm making flat spots all the way down the fender doing it the other way, so this is just something you'll just have to trial and error. You know, that didn't work so well. It looks much better like this versus that. Even though that's not horrible, it would be more work to sand out than this will. Like I said, generally I would have stopped the last time I did it this way, and I would have been done. Just setting it on now, knocking those ridges down. Just let the spreader glide over it, or it's starting to kick on me a little bit here, I think. I have a habit of putting a lot of hardener in because I don't like waiting around for it, and I don't like leaving it to dry and doing something else because I like to catch it before it gets too hard to knock it down. So generally I put enough hardener in that I can go clean my spreader and my board up, and then maybe in 5 minutes after that I can start to knock this down. It's pretty cold in here, and I tried not to put very much hardener in so I could show you how to do this without it kicking on me, but it looks like even So I still put a little too much in because it's not spreading so easy now. And this is the point where I'll start screwing it up if I don't leave it alone. Because if I would have left it alone the first time I did this, it would have flattened out and leveled itself out a little bit more while it dried. And it's kind of defeating the purpose of showing you how to lay it on smooth. So I'll just keep messing with it. And yeah, that's pretty much that. Jim's gonna be pissed if I leave his Bondo board all messy. So yeah, the nice part, I guess I'll come back for a little more here. In that, yeah, this is starting to get hard. I'm gonna screw this up, but luckily it doesn't matter on this fender. Just saw something I didn't like, and even though this doesn't matter, it's hard for me to leave it alone. There. So here's the nice part about the tape. Is you know, usually all this stuff would be on your fender or whatever, and you'd have to sand it off or wipe it off before it dried. This way. You want to peel this off before it gets too hard, otherwise you'll start lifting chunks of Bondo off your edge when you pull your tape off. And you don't want to do that. So we'll see if this hardens up, and I'll show you when I like to knock it down. What makes sanding all the lines out real easy, if you got to catch it just at the right time. Now I'm going to go clean this board up and I'll be back, and it should be about ready. So while I'm waiting for this to dry, I'll talk to you for a second about cheese graters. Don't use them. In my opinion, they're bad. They, I suppose they can help knock down a real, you know, if you really screwed up spreading it and it's just horrible, but man, I don't know, I'd grind it off and try again. This is my cheese grater, 36 or 40 grit. This is still too wet, but I turn the heat on, try to get it to dry in here. When this just starts to harden, I'll try to catch it at the right spot and show you. But basically you'll just set this on here, 36 grit. Don't use any pressure, just go over it. And it'll take all these little lines and stuff out. I mean, real quick and real easy. Even if it's on a big panel, you know, it doesn't take very long just to take this and go over something real lightly. It'll clog up the paper really fast, but you know, whatever. You can save old 36 grit to use that with, to do that, or you can just be like me and continue to waste new pieces. So yeah, this is my cheese grater. I don't think I've used a cheese grater, yeah, I don't know how long it's been. Probably since the old school body man I worked with told me to use one. And I learned on my own that it wasn't really the best way to do it. You don't see too many people using them anymore. Every once in a while. Not in a body shop, really. Maybe some old timers that work at Mako or something, I don't know. just my opinion. This will dry. I'll show you how this works. I think I showed it on one of Jim's rear fenders at one time when the Rick Fix was wondering about this stuff. But I couldn't tell you where that video's at, so that's not really any help. So yeah, Oh, I'd like to thank Darren for that sticker and a poster. Sent me a Matrix poster. It's pretty cool, and I just need to get some thumbtacks to hang it up. I was going to replace this Dukes of Hazzard poster with it. You know, I really like Dukes of Hazzard, but if you'll notice, this poster is from the movie, not the TV show. So it's got this dumbass driving it, and if it wasn't for that, I'd like the poster a lot better. So yeah, yeah. So this probably won't dry all night long. Maybe I better move the heater over there. Alright, the battery's not really charged on this camera, so being that I'm not doing nothing, I'm going to let you go and come back when I'm ready to do something. So, still not ready yet. Getting closer. You can see, almost. Yeah, maybe I didn't put very much hardener in it. We're getting her dry. Got it up to almost 70 in here. Yep, So, how's it going? I was gonna say something, but I don't remember what it was. But anyway, I hope somebody got something out of this, mainly Tommy. But I'm not the best at teaching anything. I'm okay at it if, you know, it's in person. But yeah, stuff like that. And yeah, I'm not saying this is the only way to do it or the right way to do it or the wrong way to do it. It's just how I do it. I know there's other people that are, I think, just as good or better. I know I've seen Darren spread a bunch of mud on that Hyundai. I think that's what it is, that one that got stuffed in the back. But it's pretty much the same thing I do. And then Henry at Sanchtech, that guy is really good at slinging mud. And he could probably coat a whole car the amount of time it took me to do this fender. I really like his videos, they're pretty sweet. But yeah, so anyway, mainly with Bondo is practice. You know, Thomy Schuu, you say you're no better than you were a year and a half ago, but you haven't been doing it every day for the last year and a half. Which, you know, someone like me that does this, you do pretty much do it every day. And you get good at it eventually, whether you know what you're doing or not. So I wouldn't get, you know, too worked up about not being the best at it yet. You know, until you do more and more of it, you won't be really good at it. But everything I've seen you do looks pretty good to me. So yeah, I understand. You just want to know how to do it better so it's less work sanding, which is totally understandable because sanding sucks. So yeah. I don't know. It's starting to get there. Might still be a little wet. A little bit. See, if you do it too soon, probably show you. You'll see. I'm just setting this on there, and it's cutting a little too deep. I need to wait a little bit longer. And you know, if it cuts into it too far, it'll go all the way through and start rolling it off of the metal. And you don't want to do that. But you can tell that those lines are going to come out no problem. And so it's really, once you can get the Bondo on halfway smooth like this, it's really not much work. As far as this part is leveling it out. Then when you switch to 80 grit, you know, it's still a little bit of work to sand, but you're not trying to sand out all these, you know, spreader lines and dips and stuff after the Bondo's hard and you're doing it in 80 grit. So always do this first. I don't always do this first. I shouldn't have said that. If it's just a small area, you know, like something like the front corner, I wouldn't probably mess with doing the 36. I'd let it get a little harder and do the same thing with the 80 before it was totally hard. But I'm probably not making any sense, so I'm going to stop talking. As you can see, ET is still working hard at doing nothing. And yeah, thought maybe Jim would have showed up. I don't think I changed this clock. Unless Jim did. It's probably 8 o'clock right now. Pretty sure. Yeah. Whoa. 8 o'clock. Oh man. This is really, you know, I make you guys wait so long for a video, then I throw up some crap like this. Really sorry about that. Yeah, not really. I say setting it on there. I'm not putting any pressure on this at all. I don't, you know, wipe this with thinner or any of that stuff. I have done that in the past, like I said, with glaze, but it's only when I really don't do that anymore either. That still might be a little too soon to do this, but I'm getting tired of waiting, and you can get the idea. See, it'll clog your paper up really bad. Kind of nice to have like a wire brush or something to brush this off with as you do it. This side by the heat is much better. See, it's still wet. This is when you want to do that. You can let it dry a little more than this, and like I said, I'm just getting impatient. It works better if it's a little drier than this, and you can put a little bit of pressure on it without digging into it real bad and rolling it off. So, yeah. Just give you some things. You can see it totally wastes sandpaper. So now, I'll waste one more piece for you. My battery's dying quick here. You can see some of these lines are gone. Most of them are gone. Now we'll start getting into, you know, some stuff and things. I'll knock this down a little bit more. On a super sturdy stand, Now is when I'd probably switch to 80 grit and you know, finish her off. Now we weren't asking for a how-to on the blocking, but just figured while I was here I knocked that down. So I would just switch to 80 grit and do the same thing, and that's where the work starts. If this was something not like, you know, a restoration or something that was in a bigger area, you could use an airboard or a mud hog, or you could even use them on this, I guess. I just don't use those kind of tools on these things because I tend to not get them as straight as doing it by hand. Yeah, it's really hot in here, so you know, I will turn that off. So yeah, that's it. Really don't know why I have nothing to say. So I hope I helped you a little bit with at least the spreading part. Yeah, as you can see, it's still, no matter how nice you spread it, it's still a little bit of work to knock it down. But like I say, air file or a mud hog can definitely help with that. That's just not the way I choose to do it usually. And that's gonna be it. I got it way too hot in here. So time to go bug angel. I'm already tired and out of breath just from sanding that. So I'll upload this and maybe see if there's any videos out. I haven't seen any from Darren or Jeff or stuff like that. Man, I just can't talk today. Hope Darren, hope you're doing all right. Hope your head didn't fall off or something like that. That'd be bad. So yeah, that's about it. And I'll try to get back here, out here. I think I'm gonna make it my goal to get these bedsides primed this weekend. So Jim's got most of the body work done. I'll just have to go over them and redo it all, and then get those primed this weekend. Finish up the body work on the dash, and the cab thing is here, I think, where you finished. I know there's dents on top of the dash. The door jambs need to be done. I don't know why I can't make myself finish this stupid truck. Jeez. Is it ever gonna happen, E.T.? Not with you sitting up there doing nothing, that's for sure.